I'm Angela. I think, yeah, everyone else here has been here before. Angela, head of operations. Welcome to our daily co-working call. Ron will be here shortly. But yesterday, everyone shared their why as to why they're speakers and what prompted them to speak. If you weren't here yesterday, please listen to that call. It was powerful. And if you're here today and weren't here yesterday and would like to share your why and why you got into speaking, we would love to hear it. It was powerful. So feel free to hop in if you weren't here to share why you speak. We'd love to know what motivates you to do this crazy, crazy thing of speaking, which most people are afraid to do. What forces you to do? What pushes you on stage?
I can go if no one else is. I got into it by accident, believe it or not. It was not something that I had planned ahead of time. Just going to events, and watching the other speakers up there. I was just motivated one day. I'm like, I have a lot of information to share. I think I could do this. And it just took one person, a PhD doctor that I was sitting next to. She said, you know what? You can. Just that one person believing in you and just those, what, 3 or 4 words saying, I think you can do this too, or I know you can do this too. And she just wrote down a few tips for me. And I just started researching and getting started and formed my LLC and just have been taking baby steps ever since. But it just, a lot of times you have no idea just the power of words and the encouragement from someone else. As I was watching a speaker, I'm like, this is not as complicated or it's not as scary as it looks. So I just got out there and I've been at it ever since.
Thank you, Luana. And I love that someone just spoke to you in a way that moved you to action, just removed your doubt. It gave you permission to
Absolutely.
go out there and do it. And now you're doing the same for others.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, it was a note. I was watching someone speak and I just like wrote on a note, I think I can do this. And she wrote, you can go for it. And then she just wrote down, I do this and I do that. And so as the speaker's talking, we're like exchanging notes and I still have the notepad and I've sent her a copy of that with a thank you and a little bottle of wine and some flowers. And she was like, wow. And she had no idea I had saved that note.
That's really special. It's the
Yeah.
little things that sometimes people don't even realize that we're doing and the impact that we can make.
So we should always lift as we climb.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, Ron, welcome.
Hey, good to see everybody. Thank you all for joining us today at Speaker Co-working. I'm Ron Story. They had a product at SpeakerHub. We do this every day at 12 o'clock, where we get together with speakers from all over the world. I think Ann McNeil just joined us from Iceland or Antarctica or someplace like that. I think Iceland is up north. She's down south, so she's in Antarctica. Looking at
Buenos
whales or
Aires.
something.
Buenos
Oh,
Aires.
Buenos Aires. Oh, she's moved up north. She's gone up to Argentina. All right. You know what? If you are you all getting off the boat?
Yes.
Oh, you know what would have been
Yes.
really cool? We should have had some of our team members to go and take you to lunch. That would have been super dope.
Oh,
How
But we
long will
didn't know
you
you
be
were going
there?
there.
couple of days.
Well, we may be
Few
able to
days.
arrange it. We may arrange something. Don't be
I'm going to
surprised
text
if
Miguel.
Juliana or
Okay.
Miguel, yeah, tell them to take her to lunch. I'll take care of the account. So that'll be great. If they can arrange it, even if it's just coffee, it'll be good to do a little touch. But yeah, I'm Ron Story. This is what we do on a daily basis. SpeakerHub is my family outside of my other family. Um, this is what I've invested my life into. And my mission with SpeakerHub is to be the amplifier for speakers just like you. We're not your competitor, we're your amplifier. The best example is when I was coming up, we used to have a component system, and it had the tape deck, the dual tape deck, had the turntable on top, if you was dope, you had the 5 carousel CD changer that your dad bought and put it on there with the rest of the pieces. And my uncle had the reel to reel with the tapes, the reel looked like film with on the top of it. But the one part that I always thought was cool was the amplifier, because you could control the bass, the treble, the volume, and we're that amplifier for you guys' voices. Um, that's what we started off as, and that's what we'll always be. So I just want to encourage you all to keep going. Always remember the why. why we're doing these things, because when you forget that, it becomes really hard. And I wanted today, are there any questions? Because there's a few things I want to cover. I want to go into a topic that I think is really important, but I also want to cover some of the new features that we just released this morning. Some of you all may have seen them already if you've been inside of your account. A lot of them are so cool and so integrated that you won't even notice them. You'll just notice that the change has happened and it's become a lot easier. So I want to go over those things, but are there any questions, celebrations? I think everybody on here has shared their why they became a speaker. Maybe, I don't think Ann was here yesterday when we did that. So Ann, if you want to share what made you become a speaker? I know you're in the construction business, and Aiden, I don't think you were here yesterday either. So if you want to share why, what's the why that brought you into the speaking business? For me, it was I kind of got pushed into it. I don't think I shared it yesterday. I mean, the reason I do what I do now is because I want to amplify you guys. But my first time speaking was at church, and there weren't a lot in the AME church. Not a lot of little boys go to church. You get dragged there by your mama, and it's maybe 3 of y'all, and there's 15 girls and 3 dudes, and you can rest assured every boy is gonna have a speech at the Easter show, or you're gonna be reading the scripture or something, because you the little boy that's a good boy that can read. And that's kind of how I got introduced to speaking. It was the platform that I had. I was always reading something at church, and then it went to college where I led a Bible study, and then I eventually used to be the alternate sermon preacher for Sundays when pastors would go on vacation and do youth church and things of that sort. But it all started because somebody said, "Hey man, get up there and say this." And I went up there and I said it, and I was kind of obligated. I didn't want to do it, but that's what kind of got me into it. And then now today, even with my last name being Story, that's my real last name. I get asked all the time, "Is your name really Story? Or did you change it because you work with speakers?" No, it's the name I was born with, and I guess it's the name that I'll walk with. So that's why I do it. That's how I got introduced to it. So Luana shared how she got into it, which was really cool. A note from another person who believed in her. So, Aiden, if you want to share how you became a speaker, and Ann, that would be great.
Sure, thank you. So for me, like you, I wasn't planning to speak. I was pretty much in clinical trial world academia, and I split my time between London and Los Angeles back then. And so I was living in this place called The Collective full of entrepreneurs and creatives. And I kept sharing the message of like the mindset and how one can overcome challenges in the way they think. And one of the girls said, "We should really talk about this. I know you've written a book, but you should really share this with our group because it makes a difference." And I was like, "I don't know about talking. I just want to like let you know on a one-on-one basis, not one to many." And so I just plucked up the courage to do it, and it opened up a platform where I could share the gift of what I've been given, which is understanding of the mind, to those who need it, because there's a lot of loneliness. There's a lot of people who are entrepreneurs who are struggling at the time, and understanding how they can cultivate a positive attitude and make a difference in how they thrive in business. But so I carried that, and I went on podcasts and talks, but I missed a critical piece in that juncture, which is I wasn't clear about my purpose, and that the gift of speaking was given to me by God for a reason, which is to amplify his platform, not to amplify my purpose or what I thought was for me. And so there was a gap where I think over about 2 years, I just stopped talking because I had no message to share. And that's why I'm back, is now I'm very clear about my purpose, which is to, like I said, expand the kingdom, to share faith and mindset mastery as a way to really truly tap into your God-given potential and achieve what it is that you're destined here to do. It could be speaking, it could be business ventures, but it's really just speaking that message through.
No, that's a really important mission. Yours isn't just a speech; it's a mission. She's like, "No, this is my responsibility." That's a big deal. And would you like to share how you became a speaker or why you became a speaker?
Yes, first I have to say I'm on a bus.
Okay.
Hop on, hop
Sorry
off.
about that.
So I have a lot. No, I got a lot of noise in the background. Anyway, for me, similar to what Aiden said, when I began to realize from the book Think and Grow Rich that there's
Yeah, right, because the ball on birthday.
Okay, of course, you understand what you said.
Cercanía de esta parada
Okay.
son una zona gastronómica, puente de la mujer y la fragata Sarmiento.
All right, so
Here, the gastronomic area.
AJ, you want to translate? AJ speaks fluent Spanish. He can translate for everybody what's being said on the bus.
no, it's okay. I'm just waiting on him to start. So real quick before he starts again. So for me, I when I realized that there's a formula for success, similar to Aiden, I realized that it wasn't given to me just for me to know and understand, that I needed to share it. And just talking to people, talking. And then when I began to realize what I was saying was making a difference in people's lives, then I just started going, like many of us, to the National Speakers Association to learn how to build a business with people. So that's how, and I'm still on that journey. It's been a long time. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the journey never stops. You continually get better. You continually practice. Les Brown had his birthday on Monday, and he turned 80 years old. And I looked on his LinkedIn, and he got like 8 events set up for the next 2 weeks. I'm like, it just never stops. Like, if this is what you were called to do, it's what you were called to do. And one of the cool things that he said in his speech with us on the Pro Speaker Summit was, there's no success without successors. So, what he's trying to do now is to give away all this knowledge he's learned over the last 50 years to other speakers so that they can continue the legacy of what he's built or what he may have even inspired them to do. So I really believe that we got to think long term about what we're doing and make the proper investments in time. So, John, I saw you had your hand up, John Diggs. Question, comment, concern?
Yeah, I just had a quick question, man. I was been getting overwhelmed with so many responses coming to john@johndiggs.com. Decided to create SpeakerHub at johndiggs.com to use that to kind of distinguish emails that are being sent and received. Is that a good idea, or does
I
it
mean,
matter?
it's up to you. You could have well, is it a good idea that you get so many responses?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good
But
idea. We
it
like
was
to hear
just
that,
getting a
right?
pain in the butt to sort out. And
Look at this. Look at this. He complaining. Now, before he met us, he wasn't busy enough. Now he complaining that he's too busy. You see what happens when you use SpeakerHub Pro and you actually do what we ask you to do? Now he's saying, I need to hire a staff person like Bart did, or I need to hire a staff person like Ann. No, I'm joking with you. But
Right.
so separating the emails, yes, I think that could be valuable for anyone who's proactively pitching a lot, because it's going to get mixed up in your regular emails.
Right.
Right.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
So for me, Liliana usually does the pitching for me. So then I don't have to deal with the emails because they're coming from her. And so, because I have 4 email accounts for all of the companies that I run, and I get probably 600 emails per day in each email account, right? So I'm dealing with anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 emails a day, right? And then I oversee all of the support emails that go out from SpeakerHub to make sure that the responses were up to my standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine me having to find pitch responses in those same emails. I'm dead. So it's better to maybe separate it. And I think it's cool to set up a free Gmail account, right? You don't need anything fancy. A very simple free Gmail account will allow you to send your 20 to 30 emails a day and get the responses you want. No one sees the email address anymore in emails. So when you get an email and you send an email from your SpeakerHub at John, as long as the name on it still says John Diggs in the name section, first and last name section, like I got this email from Jordan Bilger, right? It doesn't show his email address. It just says his name. I got to click 3 times to see where the email came from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, don't be ashamed to use a free Gmail account. Gmail trusts Gmail. Let me say it again. Gmail trusts Gmail more than it trusts your fancy domain name that's not on a Gmail or Microsoft server. So do it.
Cool.
Make
Thanks,
sense?
man. Yep.
So that kind of leads into a couple things I want to cover really quickly, which is some of the new updates that we made to the to SpeakerHub and all of our systems over the last 24 hours. So I want to thank Melissa Dinwiddie, Bart, Bart Womack, and McNeil's team for the suggestions that you all made on helping us to improve this over the last, and everyone else too. I just remember their contributions were the ones that stuck out. And you know, it's been really helpful for them to help us with this. So because we had to go in, and I mentioned those three individuals because they inspired the biggest change we made. We just introduced workspaces. In the past, we only had the feature called Teams where you could add a team member, right? But Workspaces allows you, Aiden, if you want to pitch as a lawyer, and then you want to have another personality as a doctor and another personality as a women's rights activist, you could have 3 different AI profiles now to pitch from those different personalities. So instead of me reaching out as a software founder, talking about me living around the world, those travel podcasts really don't care about me being a software founder. I should be writing them about me living in 5 other countries, right, over the last 10 years. Does that make sense? Or if I'm talking about, I want to pitch software companies, they don't care I live in Medellin. They don't care about that. They don't, so it's just different personalities you can pitch from based on how you see yourself and the audience that you're going after. Does that make sense? So basically all that you do, you come in and you name the workspace. So I'm going to call this one for myself, travel, right? But I could, if I'm running an agency, I could call it a client's name. I could put in Monica's story, right? So then now I know this is my client's workspace, right? So now that's my client's workspace that I can go in, and it's going to allow me to fill out a profile and get the AI to write a bio and make the suggestions and create frameworks for Monica. Monica has no idea that I did all of this with SpeakerHub. She just thinks, man, Ron came up with these speech titles for me. Ron did this. This made it great. This is incredible. Man, I got the best agent in the world, right? So they don't have to log in. They don't have to do anything. You connect your email to send from that account. Workspaces is a game changer. Why? Because every speaker probably has a friend that wants to get booked, or it's a way for them to potentially start their own booking agency. I had a meeting last night with a guy, great new lifetime member of ours, Mr. Lundy. And Mr. Lundy is a speaker himself, but he runs the Lundy Speakers Management Agency. And he works with a lot of top athletes. Now, why is that important? Because he wants to represent them. So imagine him being able to come in and be able to get his clients booked even more often using our technology as the backbone for that. Does that make sense? So that's what Workspaces is. It's going to let you log in the same way. I'll go ahead and create one here. Now I have this workspace and I can just go ahead and log in. I can use it or delete it. So now when I log into that workspace for the first time, it's going to take me through the basic onboarding for me to set up my workspace. And you see it now, it says Monica's story, but I don't want it to be like that. I want it to actually put her real first name in there the way it should be, right? And it just goes through the normal onboarding of generating all of the stuff that we need to get her set up, right? And if I'm like, you know what, I changed my mind, we also added this new exit where we can get out of there and not finish it. In the past, you were stuck. If you started onboarding, you were stuck in onboarding. Now we let you out of the onboarding if you don't want to finish it. So her space is still there. I'm not stuck doing it if I don't want to. Make sense? Is that fair? Cool new update. This is a game changer because I know a lot of you all have different careers that you're going to be pitching for, different personalities, I should say. But then we did a huge update in simplifying your mailbox. We used to have new and waiting. We got rid of new. We combined them together. Anything that you had in waiting and you hadn't sent the pitch, we gave you all of those credits back. So some of y'all had 200 credits over there of things y'all had started to pitch, but y'all were like, oh, I got to archive these. I really don't want to reach out to them. We just reset them and gave you the credits back. So I know some people we gave 250 credits back because they had built lists on their own before meeting with us or coming to co-working and didn't understand, oh man, I didn't really want to pitch this person. I think I was going about it wrong. So we just gave you the credits back and reset your inboxes. So anything that was in waiting, if you hadn't sent the pitch, it doesn't hurt you. Does that make sense? Now, why is that important? Because of a new thing we just introduced. When we click continue now, and the AI is going to write the email for us, right? So in 15 seconds, it just wrote this email to that event. In the past, if I left here and I went over here to media because I got distracted by something else, and now I want to go back to finish that pitch, you notice it's already saved. I don't have to redo it. We did the saving thing that you all were, can't remember who was saying, man, I started a pitch and then I left and I came back and I had something I liked and then it disappeared, right? No, it's there. It's auto saved. Does that make sense? That's a big freaking deal. Why? Because I just got a complaint about that 2 seconds ago on LinkedIn from this dude, right? He's leading this guy right here, Ricky Brown, who's #1 on the leaderboard today. I think Ricky is #1 on the leaderboard for this week. I think he sent 180 pitches so far. You see him up there? Ricky just sent me this message. Hey, Ron, I love what you're doing, but I want to turn off the AI because it's slowing down my progress. Cool. Right? So you can turn it off now. You can also, it also automatically saves that email that was already started. So boom, I can come right back to that email right where I left off. Y'all asked for it. So if you don't like it, it's your fault. Y'all demanded this feature. So does this make sense? That you can do that. Here's another thing that you couldn't do before, right? Now you can delete people out of waiting. Do you remember before we didn't let you delete folks out of waiting? So if you mistakenly put someone on the list, I can now just delete them off. Before we were telling you just put them in the archive. Well, now your archive gonna be full of junk, but now you can just delete them and act like it never happened. Make sense? One more thing. In the past, whenever you click the pitch button, look at my number of pitches here. You see, they gave me all my pitches back. So I have 100,197 pitches, right? I got a hookup on those pitches, by the way.
Yeah,
But
come
let's say
on, brother. Come on, brother. You can slide a few of those over to this milk belt over here now. Come on.
No, man. Every time you make a milk dud joke, you lose 20. No, I'm joking. But let's say I want to pitch this Intuitive Warrior podcast here, right? In the past, whenever we would click pitch, it would take a credit. We stopped that. We didn't think that that was fair. We're like, well, what if they change their mind? They lose that credit. So now when you click pitch, it doesn't take a credit until you actually send the email. Does this make sense? So now when I want to reach out to them, until I click this button, the pitches are not taken from my pitch count. Huge upgrade in the workflow. Why? Because it's going to be a game changer. Now, I don't know if we also changed what the buttons say. Instead of details, now it says, do you want to update the podcast? Do you want to update it instead of, because it would say follow up, but it's like, no, I really got to update this. I don't really want to follow up with them, right? So you can choose to follow up, mark if you got booked or whatever. So let's say, for instance, I want to update my thing with Brent O'Bannon, and I click, yes, I got booked, right? So now it's going to ask me, how many people were impacted by this talk? I can come back in and say, 500 people was at this event, or 150 people were at this event. Why? Because at the end of the year, when we show you your dashboard, we're going to show you how many people's lives were impacted by your message this year. Again, the money is cool, but the impact is more important to us. right? Because if you knew you impacted 25,000 people this year, that inspires you to keep going. Now you just need to learn how to convert that into money. Does that make sense? So, but that's what this is about here. There's another feature that we're going to be adding that isn't in here. And I don't think Maria wants me to preview it, but I'll preview it anyway because I want to show you all, because I think it's the coolest thing ever. Let me see if I have it here. Let's see. She sent me the link yesterday, so let me see if I can pull it up. There's a new feature in the mailbox that will be coming. Here it is. Can you all still see my screen here? All right, so here's a new feature in the mailbox. So we're missing this right now. You can see in the mailbox, it says waiting, sent, replied, booked, and archived. But there's a space here. What's gonna go in that space, right? This is what's going in that space, which is cheating. This is like, dude, I don't know what our competition gonna do because they're gonna be in trouble, right? So here's the future of the mailbox that will be released in another week. We release these things in stages to make sure we don't have bugs that will destroy everything. So we're introducing a column called In Conversation. So not only did they reply, but are you talking with them or did you get it booked? Sometimes you're still negotiating. But you notice these notifications are here that are going to tell you how many times have you replied or how many times have you followed up. Do you see that? So we're going to give you the follow-up notifications so that you can say, oh, I need to follow. I'm on my first follow-up with them. I need to follow up with them again. Remember, we believe in following up 5 times, right? So there's going to be a bit of an update to this because we want to introduce this. Let me show you. So now it'll say, hey, you followed up once. Here's your first one. But let me show you the cool thing. All the cool things. 1 second. All right. Hey, you got a response. Update the status. But wait, where's my thing I'm looking for? Wait. I went too far. Here it is. All right. I'll be getting too excited about this. All right. So let's walk through the workflow really fast. So imagine you got a follow-up. Like they scheduled it on the books. You followed up with them and they replied. So now that they've replied, you need to know what you're going to talk to them about. So you know those frameworks we created, John, or those frameworks we created, guys? Now we're going to use those frameworks to generate the topics that you should bring up in the meeting. So generate topics that you can share with this person. So it's going to say, yo, in this conversation, here are some things that may be valuable to the Iowa Business Association. This is cheating. Why? Because we be trying to think, well, what can I talk to them about? I don't think my thing fits. Well, now we tell you exactly. We give you 5 different topics that may work for that organization. Now imagine being able to give them that list. Say, hey guys, here are 5 topics I think may work that I can give at your conference. Have you ever seen anything that does this? This is a game changer. And if you don't like it, you can rewrite it. It'll resuggest 5 more topics, right? But here's the other thing. As soon as you've gotten it booked, guess what we say? Hey, create the QR code for it. You got the deal booked. Now you need your QR code so you're ready to go ahead and get your leads from that conference and get your reviews. Do you see how everything we're doing is now all being integrated together? But we have to do it on our roadmap so that you kind of, okay, I know what this does, but I don't know how to use it. So we're going to just integrate it so that it just falls into a workflow. That's a game-changing feature. So now we told you the gigs you should pitch at, right? We suggested the ones in the search. We helped you write the email. We gave you what to say in the meeting. After you secured the meeting, we gave you the QR code to turn that 1 gig into 5. Once you get those reviews, you already know that Speaker QR will write the follow-up emails to all of the leads that you've generated. There's no excuse for your behind not to be on the stage. The only excuse is that you really don't want it as much as you talk about it. And I'm willing to say that because I want you to leave, because we're going to work with the winners. We're not going to babysit fake leaders. We're going to help you to lead. We're going to push your behind out there so that you can win, because you have the responsibility to save people's lives with your message. Erica was on the other day. I keep going back to that because a tragic incident that happened to a young girl inspired her to be a speaker at 13 because she didn't want anyone else to go through that. I got to make it easy for that baby to use this if she wants to. If her mom wants to give her an account, she shouldn't have to think about, how do I pitch myself to go and save some other little girl's life? I got a 2-year-old. A 3-year-old now, and I got an 8-year-old son. I wish somebody would. I wish that something would. Y'all know, Black folks know what the word is in there. Yeah. So this is why we're trying to make it so easy. Our average user is over the age of 55. They ain't got time to be copying the ChatGPT, doing all that. We want to make it easy. All right, Darren, question. Hopefully y'all are excited about this. You can see I get amped up because this is a game changer.
Yeah, man, it is exciting. I'm trying to figure out how to ask these questions.
Go ahead.
So you mentioned we need to have our framework created on our profile so that it gives you those bullet points to pitch, right? To the once you start that conversation.
Yep. How do you create your frameworks? Is that your question?
Well, I have a couple of frameworks, but I just need to be able to see, make sure I have it in the right place on my profile.
No. We got something better than that, bro. We changed the game with that. Let me show you. So for those who are new here, when you come into your branding kit, if you scroll down, there's a section called frameworks now.
All right.
And right in frameworks, you can go ahead and we create them for you. We give you your 3 talks that I talk about: skill building, leadership, and money making. We adjust your speech for that. We give you product suggestions so that you know, hey, I'm not just a speaker. I need online courses. I need books, all of that. So we suggest what you should create for that. We give you your master framework based on your topic. If you don't have one, that's a one-word type of framework that makes it easy for people to remember. We generate that for you. And we give you the way to teach it. If you want to talk, remember we talked about tell me what you do in one sentence. We practiced that about 3 weeks ago. Well, we created the AI to do it for you, so you didn't got to worry about it. So it tells you right here, I help speakers to get paid, speaking gigs, podcast spots, and media attention. With my strategies, you stand out, grow your public image, and earn more from speaking. Right? That's my 10 seconds to get into it. We talked about going 30 seconds into the story once you get a response. When they say something more, cool, yeah, my services boost your visibility, credibility, income, and matching gigs with your skills and brand. This is ideal for speakers, authors, and leaders. Well, maybe I wouldn't say some of that. So I can come in here and say, and I'm dope on camera, right? I can put in whatever I want to put into that to edit it. So the AI is just giving you the base angel food cake. You got to put the icing on it and the sprinkles. You a speaker, put your magic on it. Does that make sense? We gave you the meat, put the seasoning, put the Lowry's on it how you want it.
I don't know about no Lowry's, but yeah, I got you.
Hey, whatever type of rub you use down in Texas, put the what's the dude that make the sausages that play for the Cowboys?
Bro, I'm from New Orleans, bro. Can't do me like that, man.
Hey, put that Tony Chechery's. Is that what they use in New Orleans?
I'm New Orleans, bro. You can't do me like that, but it's all good.
Man. Put that po' boy seasoning on it, bro. You know what I'm talking about. Right?
Nah, with you, man. Hey, my next question was this. So I guess what I'm struggling with, man, is like a buddy of mine talked about, you know, the time is over to go door to door. You have to be able to use other platforms to, you know, increase your sales and your marketing. So what you showed on the last thing with the not the frameworks, but the last thing you showed with the speaker
The QR?
profile. Yeah, the QR and all that. That's basically changing, allowing you to do it faster, correct?
100%. So what we're trying to do, well, when you say your buddy said something about door to door, what was he talking about? Because I don't know what you mean. Tell me about that.
So he and I were just conversing, like, I do a lot of things door to door, but I need
What
to
do you
be
mean
able
by
to.
door to door, though? That's why I'm confused.
I mean, talking to people every day, even being face to face and things of that nature, versus
Yep.
continuing to use the pitches, but also what you just showed kind of made more sense to use to be able to take less steps or
Yeah.
quicker steps to get the message out there.
Let me walk you all through this, because that's a great question, Darren. And sometimes the things that we're trying to do are right before us, but we don't understand why we're trying to do them, right? So in the speaker flywheel, we talk about you having your inbound set up properly, right? Which is really important. But your outbound, the reason why we want you going on podcasts, because you're getting in front of hundreds of people at a time, right? Hundreds of people at a time are hearing what you're talking about, right? It's hard to reach and get 100 people whose doors you knock on, or to give them to give you an hour. But on the podcast, 100 people giving you 30 minutes to an hour to test you out. Is that making sense? So the podcasts are there to start building up that momentum and getting your message in front of more people that want to work with you, right? So that's the first part. The other thing is reach out to the associations that are in Dallas. Reach out to them. Let them know, hey, I'm willing to come in and talk on leadership. If you're trying to make that transition from schools into corporate and associations, go do 5 free ones. Because you need the video, you need the stage time, but you're going to be in front of executives that can give you feedback on that executive talk that you're now trying out. I've never, and let me stop this, because I'm going to say something really bad, but I want to fix it so that people understand that I'm coming from a very good place. We have a lot of amateurs, and this isn't Darren, I'm talking in general about the speaking business. We have a lot of experts that are amateur speakers that are portraying themselves as professional speakers. You can be an expert in a topic, but not be a professional speaker on that topic. Let me say that again. I can be an N1 basketball player. I can be a talented basketball player, but I didn't make it to the NBA. I'm still an amateur until I get the stage time and the comfortability where people recognize me as that professional. Now, can you skip steps? Yes. Some of us have the talent and the charisma already, but we got to do the work, right? We got to do the work. There's a reason why people go from leading Bible study, and I'm talking church stuff. You go from leading Bible study to being maybe teaching a class, to becoming a deacon, to becoming an elder, to becoming a pastor. Everybody knows that. We know somebody that's went on that train. You just don't say, I went to church, I got saved, I'm going to be a pastor next week. But that's how y'all treat speaking. Y'all got people's lives in your hands. But we don't respect our own profession. I'm serious. We don't respect our own profession because we want to skip. And then we get envious of the people that are ahead of us, but we didn't see they did it for 10 years. E.T. been speaking for 20 years before you knew him. Les was doing 5 gigs a day. 5 a day back in the 80s. Lethea, that was on there. Her first year, she did 173 speaking gigs. Go watch her speech on the Pro Speaker Summit when we interviewed her. 173 in her first 12 months. Sometimes she got paid, according to her, with green beans and fried chicken. But she needed the time on stage. That's all I'm saying is we got to quit being an expert with amateur speaking skills. Nobody else wants to say it because they want your 20 grand so that they can sell you the dream, and then y'all come over here upset because you're not getting booked. I'm gonna start sending y'all back. Go back to that dude that sold you the course and tell him to get you a gig or give you a refund. Start disputing the charges. That's what y'all do to us. Start disputing, get your $20,000 back. Put it on Amex and dispute it. Yeah, I'm telling you to do it. Go dispute that BS course you bought that didn't get you booked. Because that's what they call it. It's booked in the name. You pick your own, you know the courses I'm talking about. They got booked in the name. They got all this in the name. Go dispute them. They ain't get you booked. So, not a rant against any of our competition. It's just saying I'm tired of dealing with their broken hearts. Right? Okay. So, Jasmine, sorry about that. But I'm just tired of dealing with people with broken hearts that have spent 10 grand someplace and they didn't get what they paid for.
I agree with you. Go, Pastor. Go on.
No. We just trying to get people, trying to help folks, you know?
I know. I totally understand. I love what you're doing with the website, and all that. And just a little win that I'm talking about right now, because, the minute I discovered the frameworks on here, I was so pumped. My last 2 podcasts, this book is sitting here, and they're so impressed when I'm going, like I thought I made this up, wellness, it spells this. work together. And I'm going through, they're not knowing that I'm looking down there and I'm saying it, and, listen, hear what your employees have to say. So I gravitate and I grab all that I need to help me. So when I come into a training, I'm a baby. I want to be a baby so I can absorb. Kids, absorb. I don't want to say, but I'm used to this, or I did this, I did that, because I discover something on the site every single day that will enhance my career. And, this morning, the first podcast I went live, I've done maybe about 8 podcasts right now. Every week, every January, every week I have 1 or 2, right? And with Dr. Daniel this morning, I think I sent it to you, Ron.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was the first one. So I went on, he emailed me and he says, check me out on Spotify. So while I was getting dressed, I was listening to it. Of course, you never like to hear your own voice, right? Is that how I sound there? And I'm listening to it. And then someone sent me the link of it from YouTube, which is what I sent you. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know was over there. I was listening on Spotify with my music, but somebody discovered it over there. So with these podcasts, you don't know who is going to hear you, where they're going to hear you. I've been asked to do on this platform. I was telling Angela yesterday, someone asked me, and I know she's on here today, Michelle, to speak in April 1st from this platform. Then on one of the podcasts, invited to be on their panel at a summit. And then Dr. Daniel Zan this morning says, when I'm doing a retreat, I love you. All that's paid. Hasn't in my little old hands yet, but
it's important. No, that's a big deal. Jasmine, I think you're a great example of doing the work and just being persistent. Jasmine comes on and celebrates every single thing, every step in the process, because that's what keeps you going. We got to celebrate the little wins, right? When Bonnie said, "Hey, I filled out my profile," high five. That is a step in the right direction, right? So we got to celebrate the little wins of each other, because again, this is a lonely business, and sometimes nobody else is a champion for your topic like your friends, right? It's reciprocal. You get to it. It's hard to inspire somebody else, and then you walk away with your head down. That sticks with you too.
Sure.
So Jasmine, I appreciate it.
Thank you. And if Bonnie's on today, she's on. Thank her for the beautiful message she sent me on LinkedIn. It was amazing. It was nice. Saw it at the end of the night, and people are on here we don't know, and everybody's learning from each other. And you might just say one little thing that impacts each other. Like, like yesterday was phenomenal for me to hear everybody's path. And, we just got to just sit here and, just do the work, right? As you say, do the work. So thanks again.
Yeah, no problem. So really quickly, we're going to go to Alaya. And then before we go to Alaya, I want Lawrence to introduce himself. Lawrence is new here. Lawrence Harris, if you want to introduce yourself to the group. I'm Ron Story. I'm the head of product at SpeakerHub. We do this meeting every day. We get speakers around the world. the tools that they need to get booked on more stages. So tell us a little bit about what you speak about, and we'll try to figure out how we can help you.
Perfect. Are you able to hear me?
Yep, we can hear you perfectly.
So my name is Lawrence Harris. I'm a 19-year-old youth empowerment speaker, and I specialize in helping teens and young adults to develop the strategies and skills they need to be successful both mentally, emotionally, as well as academically.
No, it's dope. And where are you located, Lawrence?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. What's in Pittsburgh?
Philadelphia.
Philly,
The main
okay.
demographic, well, the main demographic I'm speaking to are schools, churches, and youth-focused organizations.
Okay, all right. We can help you with that. We'll help you use a process called the Speaker Flywheel. And that's where you get inbound leads, but you proactively pitch the schools, the universities, and the youth associations that you want to speak in front of, right? So welcome aboard, man. We're a family over here. We're pretty passionate about speaking. So if you don't like our passion, oh well. We ain't gonna apologize. We're gonna keep winning, you know. Alaya, nice to meet you. Good to see you.
Elea.
Alaya, okay. Well, you want to introduce yourself? Tell us about you.
Yeah, you weren't here the day I came on and introduced, but my name is Elea Walker. I'm a certified life coach, and I speak on wellness and navigating in your passion. My niche in life coaching, what I got certified in, is in life purpose. And I feel like there's a lot of people out here who are, you know, going with society. We all know, who have an idea of what they think success is based on what society has told them. And I help people deconstruct that and break that down so that they can create what freedom is to them.
Okay, cool. Nice to meet you.
Question. So I am aware that there are, I guess, kind of two platforms going here. You have the SpeakerHub, where I'm on. I have an account. I've got the free account only because I will be speaking again, and I'll be getting back into speaking, but I'm focused on some other things right now, but I'm gearing myself back up for success. But there's a second platform, I guess, that actually does the outreach. So one is just for a profile where people can see all the things, and the other is the outreach. Can you explain where I can find that?
I'll show you.
Part? Because when I Google it, I was telling a friend about it. And when you Google it, only the one where I've got my free profile shows up.
Yep. So when you come to speakerhub.com, you'll see every 63 minutes, someone gets booked. It was 90 minutes about 2 weeks ago, but we recalculated it for February. In February, every 63 minutes, someone is meeting with a meeting planner about a booking, right? Whether they secure it or not, we're really not involved in that. They got to negotiate that. Our job is to get you the meeting, right? We believe you can take it home after you get the meeting. So what most people do in order to find gigs, they're usually going to be Googling, visiting a web page, trying to research the opportunity, find the contact information. They're going to do that 100 times to make a spreadsheet, right? And then they got to find out if the email is correct, pay for some email software, send the email, and then wait for a response. The system that you're asking about, Leia, did I say it right? E like Leia. I think on your video you said E, Leia like Princess Leia. I remember that because I watch all these calls.
E, and then Princess Leia. E, strong E though.
Yep, I remember that from the video because I go back and watch the calls even when I'm not here. So the inbound side is that speaker profile that you're talking about. This is the digital one sheet so that speakers can find you. Does that make sense? This is that digital one sheet so that you can be found.
I understand the difference. I just kind of wanted to know where to find the other side of it, if it was still all part of this, like the page that you're on. That way the person who I referred to can find it all. Okay, cool. And then I also
give me 15 seconds. Give me 15 seconds. I'm going to show it to you. I just have to explain it for the folks who don't know that are watching on YouTube, so we can just kind of bring them in also. So the inbound is that speaker page. The outbound is what is here. That's where you do the outreach. So when you click on pricing at the top, we have them marked. Inbound tools, which is the speaker page. Outbound tools, which is what we call SpeakerHub Pro, which is where you're being proactive in your outreach. This is SpeakerHub. You just wait. This is SpeakerHub Proactive. I'm going after the people I want to be on. So that's what this is about. And the third category that we help you with is on the education. Right now, you're in our daily co-working call right? That's what this is. We'll be introducing the challenge very soon, along with the speaker launch course, right? But inbound is the speaker page. Outbound is that data that we're talking about. And then the education side is what we're doing here. I got something really cool for you, Alea. We're going to be introducing this challenge like in the next 24 hours. If you take the speaker challenge, we will actually give you 30% off of any plan that we have.
Awesome.
Right?
Awesome.
So it's one of the coolest things ever, but that's what we're working on. Just wanted to kind of show you that there in the background. Like once you go through the challenge, I'll show you the page. I'll let you even see it ahead of time. So
is this that's the questionnaire, the quiz that you had mentioned on a previous call? So I've taken the quiz.
Yeah, but we have an updated version that's connected with the challenge.
Got it.
Everyone will go through this and they will be able to get 30% off for completing the quiz.
Got it.
Which is a huge deal. So, yep.
My second question is there some type of referral program?
Yep. Everybody has a referral code already built into your account. When you log into SpeakerHub here and you go down here, it says get 25 free pitches. Those 25 free pitches, all you do is come here and get your referral code.
So it is only this is a question. It is only part of SpeakerHub Pro, the referral.
Yes. Okay. It's only a part of SpeakerHub Pro, right?
Okay.
And it gives you 25 extra pitches, which is like a $30 value because we used to sell them individually. But yeah, you get 25 extra pitches, whether the person pays us or not. They get 25 pitches, you get 25 pitches, right? So if you refer us 5 people a month, it's like you having a free plan. Does that make sense? Because you get each one of these at $25. Boom, boom, boom.
But it's not available for those who are on the free plan now.
No, because there's no referral plan for that speaker page.
Got it. Understood. Thank you.
Yep. So guys, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. We're introducing the Booked in 5 Days Challenge. Everyone's invited to take it. We will be sending out the email about that on tomorrow. We have the final infrastructure set up. If you're watching this tomorrow or whatever on YouTube, if you go to Booked in 5 Days, like the number 5days.com, you all will be able to register for the challenge and it'll put you right into the entire thing. 1 second here, let me see. Right, it'll put you over here on the homepage where you'll be able to take the Booked in 5 Days Challenge, where we show you over 5 days and we guarantee a booking. If you don't get booked in 5 days, nobody replies to you and invites you to have a conversation, don't pay us. You get the 7-day trial, don't continue with the trial. Find something else to do. But we know, for those who do the work, everybody who's on this call, y'all have done the work. Y'all know if you send these daggone pitches, somebody's going to reply to you and invite you on their stage. So we're putting our money where our mouth is, giving you the 7 days. The first day is an intro to get all your stuff set up, your speaker page, your profile. The 5 days are 5 days of pitching. And then the 7th day is a recap day where we say, hey, look, let's report your success and your failures. So that's what's here. Booked in 5 Days Challenge. Super duper 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 important. Super duper duper exciting. And yeah, I'm glad to have you all as a part of it. Any questions so far? Didn't even get into what I wanted to talk about today, but the testimonials and the excitement about the new product features were super duper exciting for me. Chantel, what's up? How can I help?
Hey, everybody. I wanted to just say that when the meeting started, I was in a meeting with somebody else about a TV show. So he was from, he had a TV show on PBS, and that's really cool. And we were talking, but it didn't really align with where I'm actually going. So I'm talking to him and my phone is ringing. it goes to voicemail, and it's somebody else talking about a TV show, all from the same podcast. So I just said, this is great. When one opportunity doesn't align, you don't have to go with that opportunity. I didn't feel pressured. I didn't feel pressed. PBS, that's not really where my avatar is going to live. My avatar is not going to be checking for PBS. His show, I could do it, but it just really wasn't in alignment. So I don't like to force stuff. That's not really where I'm at. I called the guy back who left the message. That is in alignment. I'm here in San Francisco. His production studio is maybe about 45 minutes from where I'm at. So I booked his TV show, and that's going to be on March 10th. So it's like when one door closes, another one opens. This year so far, I've done 21 podcasts. Just within the last 2 weeks, I've been able to get on 5 different magazines. I have 3 TV shows that are coming up, and my book is getting released on March the 1st. So it really just don't stop. Like I'm from, I know he said he from New Orleans, but I'm with the No Limit Soldiers too, right here in San Francisco, California. Yes, I'm out here.
Whoa.
Nobody is going to outwork me. Nobody's going to put nothing on top of me because I'm getting it right here. So my next step is to definitely get on that stage, but I'm on that mount and I'm going for it, Ron. That's it.
That's it. Hey, make them say,
Nah, nah, nah.
No, I mean, but that's incredible. I mean, dude, 21 podcasts, 5 magazines, 2 TV show offers. Oh, 3 magazines, my bad. 2 TV show offers.
No, 5 magazines, 3 TV shows, and a book on March 1st. Yes, thank you.
Come on, man. You know, what a tank get. We gotta get you a tank chain. You gotta get you a SpeakerHub tank. You know? No, that's incredible. No, that's super duper exciting results. Lawrence, hopefully you feel at home, man. Hopefully our craziness doesn't scare you away. But we need more people from your generation a part of this call. So you know, I'm gonna Ange, can you send them the link to my calendar? I'm gonna work with you, Lawrence. I want to make sure that you can price won't be an issue for you. I need your message on the stage. I need more people. I gotta be the leader I need it for you. Right. So I'm gonna give you a scholarship to SpeakerHub Pro. You can use it for a year. Don't worry about paying for it. Get on every conference, get on every stage. I'm tired of the drill music. They don't want to hear me talk about it at 46. They want to hear the 19-year-old with the dreads, just like they got, with a positive message. So I'm going to give you a scholarship to SpeakerHub Pro. You can use it for a year. We'll get you an account set up so that you can get on the stage, get that message out there, and invest in your own future, man.
Thank you. I really want to chime in on that because you just brought up so many fantastic points. First of all, obviously, thank you for that because nobody's saying that you have to give something away that I think it's said on the site it was like $500 a year.
Yeah,
nobody's saying you have to do that. So that's a blessing for you to give that to me. And on top of that, you just brought up the fact of how people often just it's sometimes not the message, but the messenger. Like they want somebody they relate to and somebody who they can see has done it. And throughout my whole 4 years of doing this, I've put it out there. I've shown people when I was in the park. I've shown people when I was just a tripod sitting in the grass, talking into the camera. And then they get to see me up on stage and doing podcasts, and they can go back and see that I didn't just do this overnight. It was a process, and my whole mission is kind of helping people to go through the process of life, the process of building themselves up, and the process of becoming the person that they always were, not the person that they were told to be.
Yep. No, that's really important. Ange, let's do this. I think this is a huge opportunity and opportunity for us. Let's set up have Maria create a scholarship page for any speaker that's under 21. They can use SpeakerHub going forward. It's the right thing to do. They can't, we can't expect them to pay for this. And I'm tired of kids getting killed.
That was wonderful what you just did, Ron. That is, oh.
I lost 70 of my friends that I went to high school with before I turned 40 to foolishness. To foolishness, to stupidity. I just want, if I could save one, I just want to save one. Anybody, if you know any speakers under 21, send them over. We got them. They can go on every podcast, every speech. We don't care. We got to help these people. This is an intelligent kid here. Intelligent kid that's been doing this for 4 years since he was 14. He ain't trying to be a rapper. He's trying to be intelligent, trying to inspire other people to be intelligent, and nobody wants to put any money behind it. So you got any friends that want to be speakers? We got them. Right? You know anybody else? You got a nephew that want to be a speaker? We got him. Anybody you know who you know is under the age of 21, they're still in college, maybe they're their first year out of college. If they want to get on more stages, we will provide them the platform. We gotta counter the sexy red, a rap battle culture that we live in. This is not the future for Americans. It's not the future for our youth. So I got the power to do it. I'm doing it. Have Maria make the page. Lawrence, welcome aboard. You're free to come over here every day. You know, I'll make some introductions to you to other people that I know that are professional speakers that could be your role models. Pick them out of this group, but I know some other ones too that may not have been on this call today. I'll introduce you to Jared Scott. Jared Scott goes around. He speaks at about 70 universities a year. 70 high schools a year. And can you send them the link to Jared's speech? I'll introduce you to Jared. Jared is a good friend of mine. We talk all the time. He is one of the top high school speakers in the world. I'll introduce you to Odell Bazell and Stan Pearson, who speak at the universities. They do 50 to 60 university calls a year. They're looking for speakers like you. Because they're getting too old. They're in their 40s. They can't keep going back and talking to these 20-year-olds. These are my frat brothers. They cool, but they too old to be talking to 20-year-olds. We out of touch. You got to bring up the new generation. There is no success without successors. That's how we started the call. That's how we're going to end it. We're gonna put the right people in place. So, sorry for being emotional, guys, but it just reminded me of all of the people that I lost coming up, because we didn't have anybody to tell us anything different. Right.
Lawrence, will you please send me your email address or telephone number, something, so that I can reach out to you directly to make sure we get all of this set up for you?
Yes, I'll put it in the chat for you.
Thank you. And everyone else on the call, contact me if you know of young people. We will get them set up. So please, Angela at SpeakerHub.com. Please send me a message and we'll.
I know some of y'all on this call look 21, but y'all not 21, so don't be applying. I know black don't crack, but don't you ain't gonna trick me. You're gonna have to show your driver's license.
So actually, Lawrence and I connected this week on he reached out to me on Instagram, and today we exchanged a couple messages, and today I sent them the link to join in. So glad to see that you came in right away, Lawrence.
High five to you, Rain. You just saved somebody's life and you don't even know it, right? Sometimes it's not the first contact. It's the impact that person is going to have on someone else because we empowered them, right? So, Rain, thanks for thinking that much of us to make the introduction. Lawrence, thanks for taking up the mantle to decide that you wanted to be different. Ilea, thank you for hopping on. We're going to get you figured out. Chantel, same with you. Everyone that's here, we just got to get more of these messages on the stage. Bonnie, we're going to push you to start pitching. We got to get you pitching. Your page is good enough. You got to pitch. You got to send them pitches. Luana, welcome aboard. I don't know if this is your first time here, but if it is, Hopefully you feel at home. We got a mission to accomplish, and our mission is to get more positive messages out there. The record companies are promoting all the ignorance. SpeakerHub will promote the positive energy in the world. We will be the record company for speakers, right? So that's our goal. So any other questions? I got 7 minutes before my next meeting.
A new department was just born at SpeakerHub. Amen.
There it is.
Look, Ron, it's like the nifty days. This is our most, like, we've worked with youth before, like, so I'm so excited.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, I was that speaker. I would go to the high schools and the middle school and any school and talk. See,
can I tell the story?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you can go ahead.
10 years ago, Ron and I became friends because I was the director of a nonprofit called Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. And our offices were in a co-working space. And I would go around asking entrepreneurs to come to schools to talk to kids and to help them launch businesses. So to talk, but to help them make money. And every time I asked Ron, he would show up. We had hackathons, pitch competitions. He sent his nephew to one of our summer entrepreneurship camps. And so I'm so excited, Lawrence, that you hopped on today, because we will create something really special for your age group and ensure that you're the one who's out there having these opportunities to inspire, because we've done it, but Lord knows we need y'all, and we'll make sure that you have what you need.
Because, like, I really appreciate it. And Ron, you keep mentioning stuff that just clicks so much, because the idea of how music is. Have you ever read this book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I have.
So in it, he talks about hypnotic rhythm. If you do the same thing, hear the same thing, and think the same thoughts over and over, it'll become unconscious that you'll do it. So with music like Sexy Red and people who are making violent music, the problem with it isn't them making the music, it's the fact we're pushing this onto a generation of people who don't even know what they really like and can't separate the music from actual behavior, which is why the most common people, like the most common age that people are getting shot nowadays are teenagers. And not just like 18, 19, 20. No, it's 15 and below. Because when you keep hearing violence, you keep hearing murder, you keep hearing over-glorification of sex, you keep hearing all these things, sooner or later, you're going to, at the minimum, become more aggressive.
100%. It's just like showing someone a scary movie, right? We don't show scary movies to our kids because we don't want them to have nightmares, right? Yes. Imagine if I showed my daughter or my son a movie where all the kids were called stupid every day. Remember on the Little Rascals and all these things where they just used to demonize the kids and the kids would rebel and win at the end. But if the kids never won at the end, that the Little Rascals and Dennis the Menace would be a horror show, because all they did was demean the kid all day and call him a bad kid and you're not worth it and all of that.
Yes.
No different than the music. The only difference is that it's not an hour show. It's in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So we totally get it. We just bought, so we're going to call it Speaker Scholarships. We now own that domain. We just purchased that domain in the background. So we will give scholarships to any speaker that is under 21. They can go to speakerscholarships.com and get a free SpeakerHub account. Just put a basic form up now, Edge, or put my calendar on the homepage. Have Carlos put my calendar there so I can meet with them individually. But speakerscholarships.com, again, we're about that action. I don't know if y'all know what that means, but we ain't gonna wait. We're gonna go and we're gonna make it happen over here. So I just literally purchased the domains. This will be up by the end of the day. Anybody that's under the age of 21 and under, that aspires to be a speaker, is currently a speaker, they will have access to SpeakerHub so that they can get on more stages and start saving these little kids, right? I know this ain't what y'all came here for, but that's the mission. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on stage. The mission is to get more people on s And I hope some of these young individuals outwork y'all. Why? Because it should inspire you to take up the mantle and do the job that you were called to do also. There's nothing like somebody younger than me pushing me along. I'm like, dude, I can't let this little dude whoop me. You know, like I don't let my son win nothing. I beat him. I don't even know how to play soccer, and I ain't losing to him. You know, I push him down and everything because dad's got to win. I can't let this little dude have the confidence that he can beat dad. And when he beat me the first time, I'm quitting. I'm never playing again. Right. So no, I just want to inspire everyone to keep going, be the leader that you needed. And I'm gonna go get me a cup of water before my next meeting in the next 30 seconds. My call to action is if you know anyone that is 21 or under and they are a speaker, they're wanting to be a speaker, send them to speakerscholarship.com and we will give them a scholarship to SpeakerHub. Yep.
Globally. So this isn't
anywhere.
US,
It's
like anywhere on earth.
I
21.
get hit up all the time from people from Nigeria, South Africa. A lot of speakers are in that part of the world. 60% of our customers at SpeakerHub are not in the United States. So out of our 63,000 speakers, only about 23,000 of them are in the United States. So we're going to change the world one at a time. And it starts with the man in the mirror. So I'm trying to be the example to you guys. I got to hop off, but good to see you. Speakerscholarship.com. Talk to you later.